I'm going to make this very quick. I gave a channeling and for the election, and I said if both ways, and I also gave scenarios for both ways, and because I have not been watching the news, and apparently the man I call Pussy Grabber has come back into play. I asked husband, and he was right about the first election in 2016. And I said, "Who's going to win?" And I kind of saw that one too, unfortunately. So just saying, he saw it, and he said, "No, the Republican is going to win." I said, "Republican, Democrat." He said, "Republican." And for context, my husband is not American. Good, be on your way home. I'm giving your message, little man. That's husband leaving a little message on the screen. So 2015, I got a message, and I wrote it down actually, on like a little random piece of paper, saying, "Oh, Republican's going to win, but he's not a real Republican, and he's going to cause chaos and literally uproot everything in so many words." And I was like, all right. And then he comes in and doesn't really, well, he wasn't legal. He was illegal then. And he's illegal now too. But to find that truth, we have to find it in ourselves. So that's kind of the message I got from the channeling. What you get from the channeling, take from it. Once you're calm and you don't, and you're kind of, as best you can, objectively watching it. If you watch it. The channeling I put up as a live prior to this one. Do your best to understand. Oh, sorry. Today is Thursday, the 7th, November 7th, 2024. Sorry. It's a day later after I did the other one yesterday. Just remember, you're going to have to find your own way through this. So if you're in a blue state, just bear in mind, you'll be fine. If you're in a red state, prepare. I'm going to say the thing I didn't want to say. Prepare for food shortages. Yes. Power outages. Most likely, if you have something happens, your education system might just suddenly not work, or just be ready, because they're going to do anything in their power to be. And they meaning the ones that, like that 2025 booklet thing, whatever it was. Because like I said, I'm here in Australia. I'm not paying attention on purpose. But the snippets I've heard of it, it's atrocious. It is worse than Machiavellian. So just find your way through this. I've already texted a friend in Texas to say, get a generator just in case you need power. Because something tells me the federal grid is not going to help the Texas grid whatsoever if something does go down. Or if you have a horrible winter. Or like too much of a summer where you have like no power. That's the kind of small kind of detail I'm getting at this point. But here's some interesting. Husband is wonderful because he's very clear. He can see things in a very distinct, to the point manner, which I love. And I love him for it. So this is what he said. And it took like a half an hour to pull it out of him, but I got it. I love him. All right, so he finally kind of like, what did you look at? I'm like, no, just say what you mean. They finally said it. So here it is. Yeah, I'll stop babbling. He said, it will take about 2 to 3 years. We have to be patient. And then within 2 to 3 years, they're not going to have, meaning the others in his party. So his party is considered Republican. Now, if you're Republican, great. Like I said, I have nothing against you. Wonderful. Keep your views. I'll still love you. I'll still love you. Yes, I will. But there's a difference, though. There are those Republicans that won't appreciate, let's say, like Mr. Turtleneck over there. Yeah, you know. I don't have to give names now, do I? So all those people that try to destroy the fabric of a constitution, of a constitutional democracy, and a democracy that is run by the people, for the people, with the people, as of the people. These are the ones are not going to be very happy because his MAGA message is not going to come through very well. And he's now going to take his absolute power that he thought he gained by giving it to the Supreme Court, through the Supreme Court that he wanted, to get out of his court cases, of course. And now that he's supposedly, and I do it again, because 2016 he wasn't the president to me anyway. And again, he's not the president. Because something tells me in the future he will not be considered a president. I already saw a vision where you're walking into the Library of Congress, and I'm telling you, it looks amazing. It's rebuilt. It's gorgeous. It's like 100 years from now, 100 plus years from now, where technology is technology. And I know it's a tangent, but work with me for a second. And then you walk in and you have like a holograph thing, and then you go, ooh, 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 and you look down. You're like, oh, I want to look at this president, this information, that information, right? You know, Harriet Tubman, all these wonderful people, blah, 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 right? And then as you go through, and you're like, look at the presidents. And you go to 44 to 46. 45 is a dash, is what I saw in the holograph of information. And there's no information for him. And you wonder what's going on here. Then you touch the dash. It says, information has been redacted. And then you touch the file, and it says, file opened. And you have thousands, you heard me, of images coming in front of you in a holographic way. And all these files come forward, and it shows all his crimes and atrocities. And everything he's done that's been illegal, untrue, cruel, intentionally mean, the whole shebang. This is my son's head. Is that cute? Look how gorgeous his hair is. See? Yeah. That's the thing that I saw. And I asked husband, and he said, well, I said, is this in a couple of 100 years? Like a year, 100 years from now? I said, like 120 something, to be honest. Could be wrong, but that's just the one timelines I saw. Doesn't be wrong or right. It's just the timeline I saw. Some people can see different realities. It just depends on what reality you're creating in this lifetime now. So you can see any timeline you choose. That's all up to you. Like I say, it's always up to you. And when I was looking at it, it didn't make sense. And then I would pull it up, and it says redacted because of international action of interference. This whole presidency is null and void. Now, I'm not the only one that said this. Linda G did too, years ago. Now, and she's not the only one either. So, shout out to Linda G and those who said it, whoever else said it. Because it has been said by others before that have the vision to be able to see other timelines and other moments in the now. Because the now is all synchronized to the now. Like, so if you think that's future, that's actually the present for them. And that's our present. So it doesn't matter. It could be 1,000 years in advance. They're still not in advance. To us, they're advanced. It's just, it's a synchronizing time. That's all it is. So when I was looking at it, it said, and it showed all his crimes and his sexual crimes, his business crimes, his everything crimes, all down the list. And then it showed now, and I didn't quite understand what this was, because then I saw 2024, and I couldn't quite see it, so I asked husband. And husband said, within 2 to 3 years, he will not be considered a president because he's going to piss off, sorry if I'm moving so much, it's my hand and my son's right there. He's going to piss off his own party, which is the Republicans, and he doesn't do politics either, my husband. He's too gentle. He's a nice guy. He's a good one. I got lucky. And he said he's going to piss off his own people. And I said, wait, so he's not going to be a puppet anymore for them so they can get what they want from him? And he said, yes, that's it. He's not going to do what they wanted. So they're going to say that I said, so what? That he had interference? That, I don't know, I heard something like 40 million or 20 million votes, or there's something very fishy going on here, just to be blunt, that are missing. Like there's so much wrong with this election that this wasn't an actual valid election, period. Nor was 2016. So this is the reality, and I get that. But he said that it's not real because, something just popped, that it's not going to work. Because what they think is they have a puppet again. They can, he's a marionette. They can pull his strings. He'll do what they want. They'll get their taxes, this, that, whatever else they want. Whatever horrible, I'm going to, personal, sorry, it's a value judgment, but personally, horrible choice they want. Long story short, they're not going to get what they want from him this time because he's going to think he's the king wearing his golden crown, like the golden toilet, just playing around. I'm joking. And he's going to sit there and they're not going to get from him that validation this time around. But it will be, but it will be torturous and absolutely horrible in the red states, certain red states that are red bound. So if you're in a county in a red state that's Democratic, like by a Democrat, you're okay. Take a deep breath. But if you're in a county that's red and that's very, very, very backwards red to like any kind of democracy or hope or the things that you were trying to fight against, I would be very careful and I'm not trying to give you fear because I don't do fear, but I would save money now, put things aside now, just so you are secure. If you have to visit a friend in another state, hint, hint, go visit for a little, just prepare yourself because it's only going to be like a year or two. It's like he said 2 years, max 3, but 2 years because it takes a little bit from now to January, right? And then from January it takes time for them to build stuff. So they're not going to get anything done between January and next January. So like 1 year, you don't even have to think twice. So the first year, don't even worry too much. That I don't even see too much of an issue. Yes, things will happen, but it won't be, oh my goodness. Yeah, no. But then it will take like another year after that. So he said 2 to 3. So it will take another year after that for it to become pretty bad for some areas. And I'm talking about those areas that are MAGA, not those who are not MAGA. Okay? So if you're in an area that's very MAGA, I get it. But you'll be okay as long as you do what's good for you and your family and you take the proper steps so the others in the community that are MAGA, that aren't paying attention, won't unfortunately be as well off as you are. And I see it hurts me to say it because I don't take sides. I just don't. I am a Democrat, but I don't take sides. That's just, no one deserves that. I don't care what you voted. No one deserves that. What's coming? I'm sorry. Even if you didn't know, no one deserves that. Because not everybody is, some people are just, naive. 99% of them are naive. Let's just put it that way. And it's not completely their fault. It's just the way they are. So, you still love them for who they are, though. I mean, they're still nice people. You say hi, you wave to them. They like say, how you doing? You mow the lawn across the street or whatever it is. You can't. They're still good people. So, just saying. But within 2 to 3 years, max, he says, they're going to get annoyed with him. And I said, is it going to be, the fact of the votes and the interference? They're not going to own up to that. No, because then they're in trouble, meaning the Republicans. Because they had a very big hand working with Russia and China and Saudi Arabia and Turkey and North Korea and Iran, my country, thank you very much. And all the others. Yeah, I can give you quite a few. There's a list. I have them all in my head. So I don't watch the news. Because I get all the hits, whether I need it or not. I get in my sleep. I just got one before I woke up. Something with South America. So sorry, guys, but good luck. So he said within 2 to 3 years, they will say that he is unfit in so many words. I just said, is he going to be like unfit, like he's not mentally well enough? Yes, he'll say there, no, he's not mentally well enough because he's already in, what do you call it? He's already in kind of a form of dementia that is degenerating as we speak. And they won't admit to it. They keep him pumped up on drugs and this and that and all that stuff. But it's like you give him a Red Bull just so he can have a speech, that kind of thing. But the reality is this. They're going to say, oh, they could. This is a possibility. These are one of those possible timelines, is what my husband was saying. One of the possible timelines is he can come through and they'll say, listen, he's not doing what they wanted. They're not getting what they wanted. They've already destroyed, the fabric of LGBT rights, QI rights, plus. That's right, and I'm so sorry for all my fellow. I'm sorry. Give me a second. That one hurts because anytime I say an innocent group of the people, notice I didn't say that about the MAGAs, because they're not completely innocent, but these are innocents, and I'm so sorry for you. I really am. We're with you. Truly. Collect myself. Woo! The other part is why don't do politics and readings? You're not going to be able to get through the reading. not when I feel it the way I feel it. And also I got a big spurt. If you watch the other video I put yesterday, I got a very big upgrade, so now it hits me much harder. Then there are those who are not just from drag queens, from everybody else. Special needs, veterans, all you guys. My heart goes to you. Now, on a lighter note, not even lighter. And then those who want rights to their bodies. It's not going to be in the states that have already had the bans, my dears. I'm sorry. So find solutions, please. Find them now. Before this possibility of a timeline becomes fruition of, what these very, very, conservative, ultra, fundamental conservatives. I've got the word for fundamental means something really funny. The root word of fundament, like a fundamentalist, right? Fundament means butthole. I think that's hysterical. That's what you call someone a fundamentalist. You're literally calling them a hole. And I think that's hysterical. Sorry, just a little levity because we need a little right now. So enjoy that. I told that to a friend and she kind of liked it. But I hope, it really gives you a little giggle because it made me giggle. But there will be what I call chaos, and where order and balance is no longer there in society the way you need it. In your daily life, in your finances, in your salaries, you won't get raised. Like all this whole thing. Raises won't be coming in, you won't be getting money, la 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 la, the whole thing. And if you thought you were going to do financially better because you were MAGA and you voted for him, it's the opposite. And I said that yesterday in my live with the message from Source. So that's what I'm trying to say. So my husband said, no, it's not going to be that way. It's going to be more. 2 to 3 years. It takes them like a year because they're really that disorganized, believe it or not. So the first year, just kind of hold your breath and make sure they're still chaotic, yeah? For themselves. They can't order. They can't make order out of anything. Then the next 2 years after that, give or take, they're not going to get what they want from him, even though they have all the branches of the government, unfortunately. Nothing will work. They'll infight. This is what I saw. They'll have infighting. They'll be like, but I'm more powerful, so I want this for my state. But no, you can't have this because I want this. No, you can have this, but I can have this. But you can have... It's going to be fighting left and right. Nobody's going to get sugar farts done. So let's keep it clean. Let's keep it clean for the kids. Yeah. So what in the world? It's just not going to be what you think. I giggle because I just keep hearing the message from yesterday, from Source, that said, be careful what you wanted and wished for and what you voted for. And now they're going to reap their own energy, and that's what compensation meant. If you start from that ugly place, where it's all about you and you, me, it's going to come back with a negative me. Like you wanted a raise, you might not get a raise, you might get a demotion. You might get your salary cut, or your hourly rate cut, or your factory shut. Yeah, I rhymed. Have fun. That's what's going to happen, possibly in this possible energy. This is how I speak. I speak in the possibilities, because everything can change with your mindset and how you choose to use your words, your energy, your thoughts, and your creations. So if you don't want this to be the case for you, and you were a person who voted Democrat in a red state or in a red area, your life will not be affected as badly as long as you stay focused, positive, compassionate to all those that did vote as best you can, and civil. Yes, I said civil, not tolerant. I said civil. Be civil to each other. And then you can find that kindness to each other. Because he said they're going to take, my husband said, they're going to take him out as of 2 to 3 years and say he is not mentally fit. And who? His cabinet. And the Congress, because it's now all Republican, is it not? And also now the Supreme Court, all Republican. So they're going to be like, bye, see ya. What do they say? Bye, Felicia, or something like that? I don't know. See, like I told you, I'm a dinosaur. I live in my own little space. So this is what I'm trying to say. 2 to 3 years, it will at least minimally, give or take. I don't know. That's what he said. This is what my husband said. He will not be there. And I said, what about the vice president? Huh? Mr. Smarty Pants Pants. No. Because he's MAGA, they won't be able to control him either. And plus he has no, forgive me, but he's not that intelligent. He's really not he's not even the dullest tool in the shed. He's just a tool in the shed. It's not an insult. It's an observation. There are dull tools and there are just tools hanging. Some tools are just there. And he's just one of those that are there. And he just kind of followed along. There is intelligence in him, but he didn't use it. And because he's connected to the MAGA movement, they may also remove him too. I don't know how. I asked him how. I said, how? I was like, give me a detail. And husband said, I don't know, but he's not going to be there either. They'll take him out too. And I said, oh, interesting. So, on that note, I'm curious if this is the case. So I had my vision a while back about the Library of Congress, where I was showed 45 is not there and it's null and void. Similar to the time that Linda G did too, by the way, and the others. So whoever was receiving it at the time, we did get it all at the same time, which was really cool. But Linda G put it out and I didn't, because I really didn't have videos out then. That's fine. I really don't care for it. I'm really, as you can tell, I'm an introvert. You can see this. If you can't tell from what I'm saying. So this is it. He doesn't see him there that long. And then he sees her in. And that's funny because I saw her being inaugurated, interestingly, indoors. I may be wrong, and that's okay. And that on that, right or wrong, good. Who cares? Just a detail, really. But I do see her kind of just with her hand up, taking the vow in her hand on, the book or whatever she has to make her vows to be inaugurated in. But she takes over somewhere in, he says she. And I said, what? He said, yes, she takes over somewhere in there. And I said, so who's going to take over? And he said, well, they have to get someone else. I said, do they have another election? He says, no. And I said, what? No other election? And they said, no. Or maybe it's like a quickie vote. Let me ask him. Mommy! Yeah, see, that's husband. Mommy! Come here! I'm going to ask him a question in real time. Now listen, I'm live right now, so I need you to ask her in real time. Don't skirt around and dance like you did for an hour and a half before to get this information. All right? When you said 2.5 years, 2 years, 3 years, something like 2, yeah? That he's not there. Yeah? Yeah. I'm just giving your vision. I'm not trying to be like, oh, this is what's going to happen. No, but you just said, yeah?
Yes.
Because I'm on headphones.
Anyone on?
No, just here. Tell me. Ready?
Yes.
Okay, closer. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. See that he's spoken to my microphone. All right. Now, here's my question. When you saw that, did you see another election or no new election? Here, go.
No new election.
And how did you see? Who did you see if he was removed? If he's gone, is it also the vice president gone?
It'll be the vice president gone.
Closer.
They'll have to recount the votes.
Closer.
and then
What
re-elect.
votes? What votes? Sorry.
The votes are just passed.
Oh wait, so they'll revisit 2000. Sorry, they'll revisit
2004.
They'll revisit this elect. Come closer.
Just elections, yes.
Come closer, mommy. My back hurts.
Yeah, just election. They can hear you. You don't.
No, you have to speak into it.
I am. No,
Closer. Your voice is quieter.
It's not. They can hear me. Trust me.
Okay,
I know.
closer.
No.
No. So
2004.
2024.
24.
They'll revisit these. Come closer, please.
These elections.
And are they gonna find those extra votes? I asked you that. You said
Yes.
no.
Yes. So then
Closer.
Then they'll find those extra.
Closer.
Then they'll find those.
Closer. My back
just-
hurts.
I know you.
Jeez, it hurts. God, no, Taki.
Then they'll find those extra votes.
Whose votes? The ones that were missing. Those.
The
How
ones
many?
that are missing.
Can you give me a give or take number?
A 40 million.
Okay. See, that's how I have to pull it out of him. So sorry for the weird facial side of my head, but this is live. So that's what he said. Yeah. So do you see her? Hello? Mommy? Come here. I'm still asking him questions. Come here. This is why it took forever to get an answer. He's like, I'm still busy. La la la. Come here. Come here. We've been married about a little over 20 years now. You can tell now. We've been married over 20 years now. Okay, so I'm going to repeat what he says.
Yes.
So you're saying they're going to revisit this after they remove him?
Yes.
They'll say how they remove him. They say he's unfit mentally.
Yes.
And then what about J.D. Vance?
I don't know.
The vice president, what happens?
They'll find that he's being part of the whole thing.
Oh, so they'll find J.D. Vance guilty of what? Don't eat the food. Come here.
Oh, I want to finish.
Stop it, Mommy, I'm live. You're
I
rude.
know, but I need to.
Just listen. I don't care what you have to finish. Listen. No.
Yes.
Go. So they'll find that he's part of the interference?
Yes.
And it was illegal?
Yes.
Okay, so that's what he's saying. J.D. Vance, we found it's illegal from his interference of the election. All right, so that's why the two of them are gone.
Yes.
They don't redo an election. They find the 40 million
Yeah.
conveniently because they know where they are.
Yes.
And they just pull them out of their buttholes.
Yeah.
And they go, Little, stand here for a second. And they say, ba-boom, here it is.
Yes.
And then, well, who goes into office?
Then they'll revisit the elections and they'll put the Democrats in.
No, and he just said they'll revisit the election and they'll put the Democrat. Who's the Democrat? Her?
I don't know.
Was
Probably
it-
not her, but someone else.
Wait, it's not going to be Kamala?
I don't think so.
Why? Because those are her votes.
Maybe it is. I don't see it.
But okay, well, all you see is that
Democrats. Will
Democrats will take over.
Yeah.
So, here's the question: are they having a brand new election, or they use the
No,
votes from the
they're gonna
2024?
They're going to use the other vote.
So, if they're using the votes in his mind and when he's hearing it of the 2024, see, I'm so sorry who had to watch that. This is what happens when you're married over 20 years, but you get a gorgeous child like this. So, no complaints. So he's saying you're getting the votes will be revisited then, and they'll both be found guilty for interference and cheating as Republicans side. So it'll be Grabber, which we call Mr. Jessica Trump. Yes, as some call him. I like Jessica Trump. I like that. Jessica Trump. It makes me happy. I shouldn't do that, but I keep hearing it from like Randy Rainbow, and it's just really funny. Sorry. I shouldn't do that. That's mean. Sorry. But because it is poking fun. It's mean. That's not nice. But so him, what I call Grabber, what I call Pussy Grabber, and his vice will be found guilty for it, he's saying. And then they'll put in the Democrat. So the Democrat would logically be, hopefully, Kamala and Chris Waltz. Chris Waltz? Whatever his name is. Mr. Waltz. So I'm not following. I just know the last names for the vice president. But he's a nice guy. I kind of like him. I think I've seen some of the things on YouTube, and he seems wonderful. So Mr. Waltz and Madam Kamala. So if that's what he's saying, then that follows through. But then how funny is this little nugget of tangent as well? Simpsons, the show, the cartoon, has predicted so many things about politics and so many other things too, which is ridiculous. You can find like YouTube videos on this now. And people have made compilations and it will be like, huh? I have a feeling they're intuitive as well and they just don't know it. Just like, George Lucas and all those. Um, so the point I'm trying to make is they had a cartoon episode where Lisa became I can't tell them visually. I learn visually and audio, and kinesthetically, but mainly visually as an artist. So this stuck in my mind. You see Lisa looking like Kamala with the pearls and the suit jackets and the very simple, elegant presence of power she has, right? She sits there and she's looking at piles and piles of a mess left behind by no less the image of a character looks exactly like Pussy Grabber or Mr. Grabber himself, Mr. PG, Mr. Mr. The Donald himself. Mhm. And it's in one of those cartoon episodes. It's kind of like she became I don't know. I don't know. Like, and the Donald himself would have been, I think the character, I think it would have been her brother, would have been Bart. I'm not sure, but I think maybe Bart took over and then she took over for him or something like that. And she became president and it was like the actual presidential office. So that's the cartoon. And this is years ago. So if you want to check it out, go and have some fun. But I know it's a little bit of a long video, but it's funny because this is why I wanted you to hear it from his mouth, not mine. And that's what I was trying to portray because it took me an hour and a half to get that much information out of him. So that's why you got it so quickly. Otherwise, you wouldn't have got the information either. Um, Not so quickly, but in a while. Yes, us women, we do articulate better, unfortunately, than men, and it is because there is we have more connections and synapses within our brains with the neurotransmitters and the neural junctions in our mind and in the brain tissue with the not just the hippocampus but the verbal and the linguistic area of your brain to every other part of your brain. Now the men have it more connected to what the temporal lobe is, kind of like here, which is like where like movement is and action. So that's why you teach boys sometimes as a teacher, just so as you know, you teach boys more with actions, and that's more interesting, isn't it? So it doesn't mean that if you're female and you're a dancer, it just means that because you're more physical. But it could be sound, not just movement. So it's one of those kind of things. Learning tangent. There you go. But just so you know, that's what I think it was. So that's what the whole episode was. Like they were showing like, Lisa became president and they may have like a snippet of something like January 6th even in like a precursor to that too, because I did kind of now for some reason see. So I don't watch The Simpsons. I used to, but I think they did have something like that too. So you'd be amazed. Like they did have the image of him going to Saudi Arabia long before he went to Saudi Arabia, holding that weird globe or orb thing, you know, with all these interestingly people. Because I did just mention Saudi a few minutes ago. So yes, so you heard it from him. They'll remove him. They'll remove Mr. Don, and they'll remove Mr. Vance because he's co-conspirator. And then they'll revisit and they'll be like, all right, now they'll suddenly that's why I asked, conveniently find the 40 million or so votes, and that will take her over, and that will reshift the numbers, including Pennsylvania, and that's what you needed in Pennsylvania. Whatever the numbers in Pennsylvania, it's what you needed, and it will be 78. It will be 278, I think, to 277, and that will be enough for her, to take over without having a new election, is what he's trying to say. And that's one possibility, but who knows? So just saying, have hope, because like the message was yesterday, a source said it is the most unexpected There is nothing right now that is specific, nothing right now that makes any sense, and nothing that we know that we've ever seen before in history of the governance of the United States and in any democracy. This has never happened before on the planet. So, this is new. So, yes, you will burn things to the ground to the point of, oh my goodness. But if you are careful for yourselves, you will be okay. Use your intuition. Be kind to yourselves, be kind to others. Understand, be the love. Like so many have said, be the love. Act with compassion, regardless of what people have decided to vote for and be. And believe. And take care of the ones you love. Like I'm taking care of this gorgeous guy. You take care of the ones you love. And you love them well. And you do what needs to be taken care of in precautions and in the moments that you need to do. And you will be okay, regardless of where you live and what your area is like, whether it's a blue area or a red area or a purple area, what it doesn't matter. Take care of yourselves the way you need to, and you will get there. So I hope that was clear. If that wasn't, leave a comment. Because like I said, if you can see in real time, it's hard to pull it out of my beautiful husband, but he sees things very well. And I am very lucky that we are a pair the way we are, because if I was somebody else, no, it would not work. I wouldn't have the gorgeous child that I have. So, hang in there. And like others are saying sorry, I don't say sorry for things because I believe that, not that I'm not wrong or right I don't believe in right or wrong. I believe that there are differences of perspectives and realities, and each one is honestly a truth. So I always give options when I speak, and if I don't, let me know as well in the comments. I would love to know. If I'm too biased, say that was too biased, and I will genuinely say sorry, 100%. So, but if I wasn't, as objective as I could be and way too subjective, let me know and I have no problem saying sorry. I really don't. But it has to be for good reason. I'm not just going to say sorry for no reason. Because it has to be, it has to work for that. Like I said before, I felt the pain that some of these people will have. And for that, I am sorry. See? It's there already. So, do your best. Hang in there.
Yes.
Take a deep breath.
Buckle your seatbelt.
That is buckle your
10,
seatbelt. That's right. He's watching the show.
9,
Sorry.
8,
So
7,
on that note, I love you all. Thank you for listening. Sorry for taking over too much of your time again.
4,
But, see, I garbled the message. He just gave it to you in like 3 seconds. Finally. So on that note, hang in there. We got you. Source is with you. The universe is with you. Everyone is with you. All the guides are with you. Take a deep breath. Sit back. And like Loretta said beautifully in her rant, her mother's Tara, pull out the popcorn until as long as you can. But take care of yourselves, and do take care of those, even those that voted differently than you, if you have to. Help them, because they're going to need it. They're still human. They're still us. They're a reflection of you, whether we like it or not. We're all equal. We're all important. And we are all wonderfully balance each other. So remember that first and foremost. Have a great day. Hang in there. We got your back. I'm going to give you one hand namaste because I'm stuck here. Namaste, my friends. And we were with you. Hang in there.